Hello ladies, how are y'all doing tonight? And happy Memorial Day. This is Molly. Well, I've got a new book I finished I wanted to share with y'all. And I had bought the kit on HSN from House of Three, the Pink Paislee group. It's the Daily Junk collection. So I put together a book, and what my intentions are with it, if I ever finish it, is to put some of my favorite things, some little things my son wrote when he was in, kindergarten and first grade, some cartoons my mom had sent me, some notes from my husband, just things that are precious to me. So on the cover you'll see that I named it Precious Precious Junk, and used some little flowers from Michael's. And ladies, I got lucky. I went in there hoping they were going to be on sale, and what I found out is that they were actually marked half off, and they hadn't marked them yet, so I was able to get a big assortment of colors and as many as I wanted. And one lady saw me picking over, and before you know it, I turned around, there was about 6 ladies beside me grabbing up the rest of them. This right here is a set of charms that I got from a swap I was in, and it was from Melinda Campbell, and it's just perfect for the book. So I was so glad to get to use it. Thank you very much. And then of course different kind of ribbons and things on the border. And the paper collection, as I said, was the Daily Junk, so it's real pretty. I glued on some extra butterflies that matched the collection from some of the die cuts I had. Okay, when you open her up, I used a couple of different papers. You'll notice like a Webster's page and things like that I used to help fill in where I was running low on Daily Junk paper. This is just a little vellum envelope, a little glassine envelope with the tag in it. This, my friend Sue from the internet had sent me a book. It was a long book with different die cut shapes on it and all, and I actually took one of those pieces, turned it sideways, in other words it was originally intended to run like this, and cut it to make like a little topper there. This is a clip that came with the collection. It's a felt flower, if you can see it. And then the papers have just the cutest little sayings on them. Like you can see, this one says, "Don't forget today," and down in the corner it's got "Be positive, be true, be grateful," different things, just good words of wisdom. So when you turn that, of course I made that match. The back side of that clip I stuck another flower on. This is a Prima flower, and then just put your little tag in there that's holding that on. You could put a picture behind it. This page, this was one of the little die cuts from the collection. There's that little saying we just saw. So I just made myself a little book to put things in, and thought that was cute, and could just adhere a few things to them and still room for a picture or something behind there. Okay, the next page, another Prima flower, a couple of little stick pins. I made a little pennant on that one, just little beads on that one. And then this is a photo mat for a picture I'll cut up, and then 2 journaling blocks for the back of that. A little bit of stamping, if you can see the background stamping on that. This clock was from the stamp collection that came from HSN. This, of course, is Tim Holtz' Live the Life You've Imagined. But just 2 pretty pieces to put in there. And of course you can put a picture in the back. Now this pocket, if you can see, it's a little narrower than the book, is actually an envelope that I put on here. Again, some Prima flowers, one of the birds, a piece of die cut from the machine. And then I made myself these little things. And let's see if I can even feel that string to undo it. And then what it is a long envelope, and again for some letters I want to slip in there and hang on to, some precious little notes that I want to hang on to. And then this gives you a good idea how pretty the paper was, all done up. This page I'm leaving big and blank for some pretty pictures and things I want to attach to there. Kind of the idea, that new Smash book that's come out, just where I can collect some things up. Put another little piece of paper behind in the corner, and then flip the page back, put a little button on there, so I thought it was cute. This next page is, if you can see the whole layout, again one of those little pieces, Prima, some buttons, a little piece of fiber, put a little stitch in the button. And then this is a world map. This of course is showing North America. And if you come over here, this was just some cards I had, came with the machine, with the collection, with the machine, excuse me, I'm tired, with the collection. And I just glued 2 back to back just to make a little piece in the flip middle. And then I inserted an envelope right here, and so you can see I carried the other part of the map over to here. Here's the envelope, lined it with some pretty paper inside, and then put a card in there
Just did a little decorative edge on there. Again, this is one of the stamps that came in the collection. Isn't that pretty, a border stamp? Real, I don't know if y'all can see it. It's just as pretty as it could be. And then the back is just a solid piece for journaling. But you can see where I lined the envelope, the flap and everything. So I just thought it gave it a little interest to add that piece. This is a little bauble from Making Memories collection. And then this one, of course, is the back of the envelope, and it just says the Daily News. And then I put one of my charms I had gotten. It's a clock with a bird, as in airmail, I guess. This page couldn't be too much plainer. It's just, again, the paper is so pretty. I just added one little charm right down there in the corner. Turn the next page. Again, plain as it could be, but I want to leave room for some stuff. And then here's some flowers and leaves I added, Prima. And then, of course, these were sprayed with Lindy's Stamp Gang. Little piece of fiber. And just pretty. And then this next page, I put a pocket on the page. And then this is one of the die cuts that came with the collection. So I just covered the back of it with some paper so I'd have a journaling spot. And then this little piece you see here was just out of a different, actually, Ciao line. So I made a little journaling spot for there just to add some interest. The book is just, to me, it's got cute little sayings, positive, daily reminders and things. So it's just a cute little book. So I was trying to keep in that vein. Some more flowers that I sprayed with Lindy's Stamp Gang. Ooh, I love that stuff. Next page, haven't done anything with, just the paper is so pretty. Next I added, oop, my little thing's falling out. And then the next thing is I added one more little, this was a long envelope, a long, thin envelope this way. And I cut it down, just added a little flower right there. These were two little strips of wording that came with the collection. I just cut them off like ribbons. Be amazing and be grateful. And of course it's an envelope. And this is where my son had written a little book when he was in kindergarten that's going to fit right in there, that I've hung on to for years to embarrass him. And then the last page I put up on Pop Dots this little note journal die cut it with it. And then the charm that you saw in the front, this was the tag that it came on. Isn't that gorgeous, with the fiber and everything? And she had stamped it, so pretty. And then all I did was cut a piece, luckily I had the die, and I just cut a piece of paper for the back to make a journaling spot. So I really like how that fits in the back. And then the back of the book, again, is actually a different piece. I think it's from Webster's Pages, but it just kind of went with the thing. And it's Pure Smile, today is your day, kind of thing. So I thought it kept with the collection. So this is my precious, precious junk that I'm going to put in this book. Ladies, I hope you enjoyed it. I hadn't talked to you in a while. I sure have been enjoying all the work y'all have been putting on. So thanks for your time. And then the book that I have on the table now that I'm working on, I can't wait to finish, is an Americana book. It's I'm going to call it My America, and start with, I've got a miniature copy of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, and then go through, I was a child of the 70s, and the world has changed quite a bit since I was young, and yet I want to go back through history. So I'm just anxious to do it, and I'll be showing y'all that next. Y'all have a great Memorial Day. I wish we had smell-o-vision right now, because we just got through eating the best Memorial Day celebrating Sunday dinner you could imagine, and it was delicious. So ladies, have a great day. Thanks for your time. Happy holidays.